What is going on YouTube? I am TheOPJellicent and I am here for week number 4 of season number 3 of the Ultimate Pokemon Conference. We are 1-2 right now, one of the first times we ever have a negative record, and we are going against the 2-1 Chicago Granbulls. So really tough match. I really want to win this one because dropping to 1-3 would probably put us at the bottom of our division. And right now we are holding the second place spot, but we do have the same record as the Colorado Reggies, so this is definitely a must-win for us if we want to stay in the playoff race. Well, we could win out after that, but we really want to win this one. So, looking at our team right now, we have Scarf, Kyurem, Black. If you look at his team, the only thing that really wants to take Scarf outrages is the Skarmory, and we have Ice Beam for that. So, unless he has Spadef investment or like max HP, Ice Beam will 2-hit KO the Skarmory. We have Dragon Dance Flygon, which can also put in a ton of work. It has Fire Punch for the Skarmory, and then it'll really put a dent into everything else. Earthquake this, Earthquake, Outrage, Outrage, Outrage. So definitely looking to do a lot of work with that. I do have to get rid of Mamoswine before I even attempt to sweep with it though. So that's why we have defensive Nasty Plot Fagagris. So I'm hoping I can bring this in on Mamoswine, set up and maybe throw off a Will-O-Wisp on it, and do some work with that. So it is Trick Room, Nasty Plot. So hopefully that will work out. If you look at his team, the only thing that can actually get rid of hazards is Skarmory, which I can put a lot of pressure on with Assault Vest Raikou with Thunderbolt. So I decided to bring Toxic Spike's max speed, what is this thing, Tentacruel this week, just so we can maybe cripple a lot of mons, put everything into range of the Scarf Outrage, but I really need to make sure Skarmory is not able to get rid of that. So that's going to be one of the key points. And then finally we do have defensive Arcanine for the Hitmontop. It can handle the Garchomp. Garchomp does 2-hit KOs at -1 if it's max attack, so I do have to be careful. And it can also handle the Skarmory, throw off a Flamethrower. And we have Assault Vest Raikou. It's not 2-hit KO'd by the Volcanion's Fire Blast unless it's Specs, and it handles the Tornadus really well. So really good team matchup in my opinion, but we did not bring the Aggrons because the Volcanion pressures it way too much and I don't have the greatest switch-ins besides Tentacruel. So right off the bat, let's get right in. So right off the bat, I lead off with Tentacruel as I throw off the Toxic Spike right away because, as I said, Hitmontop does not get Guts, so I don't have to worry about that. And while he does have 2 flying types, one of which can remove hazards, I really just want to put these 3 into range of the Outrage or the Aura Sphere on my Assault Vest Raikou as soon as possible. So that's my mentality right now. Even if he ends up Earthquaking and getting rid of my Tentacruel, that's fine, or getting up his own Stealth Rocks, well, that could hurt the Arcanine and the Kyurem sweep. I really don't plan on bringing in Kyurem until it can clean up late game anyway, so he's going to throw off the Earthquake right away and get rid of my Tentacruel, which is kind of fine. It's not great, but it's okay. Here I can bring out my Arcanine, throw off a Will-O-Wisp, so now Fagagris doesn't have to do that. It can set up right away against this thing. As he's going to switch out here into the Hitmontop, as I believe I throw off a Roar, yeah. So I'm not letting anything spin here. He could have brought out Skarmory there if he wanted to sack it off, and Defog as well. And here, you might be wondering, why am I Flare Blitzing a Volcanion? Well, first of all, you saw I went for Flame Charge. I am not Flash Fire, so this Flame Charge will deal damage, but I figured if I want this thing in range of my Kyurem, I need to weaken it with toxic damage as well as whatever damage I can get in on it. And if you look at the rest of his team, Arcanine doesn't even have a very good matchup. Tornadus is a special attacker, Mega Garchomp will bop it, Skarm will just set up spikes and Whirlwind me out if it gets the chance to. So not really the greatest matchup here with Arcanine. So I figured let me get whatever damage I can on this thing and switch it out. So he's going to take 16% for my Rocky Helmet, 10% for Life Orb, and 12% for Poison. So already that boost is looking kind of insignificant. Here I can just bring out my Scarf, no, Dragon Dance Flygon, which outspeeds this, and get rid of that. Or was that Scarf in this game? It did outspeed at +1, so we'll see. Here I can bring out my Assault Vest Raikou made to counter this thing as he makes a very nice play and goes for the U-turn. Brings out this, and there's no way I'm letting this thing spin, so I'm going to go right out into my Fagagris as he throws off the Earthquake, which is fine. We are defensive with the leftovers and a Nasty Plot Trick Room, so he's really trying to get rid of this T-Spike right now because it's going to cripple the rest of his team. Throws off a Wisp, as I throw off a Wisp and miss as I throw off the Toxic. That was really unfortunate because I would have been able to 2-hit KO this thing where Kyurem Black's Ice Beam had a hit that. But he opted to throw off the Toxic on this Aggrons instead of defogging, which, you know, it's fine because now I can't sweep with it, and if I was defensive that would have crippled it as well. But here I really need the Wisp Boss on this, so I'm going to throw it off as he tries to bring out the Mamoswine, which is going to absorb the Will-O-Wisp. And here I decide I'm just going to start nasty plotting up as he throws off the knockoff. I just want to get rid of this thing so that way I don't have to deal with the Ice Shard onto my Dragon Dance Flygon, and hopefully I can clean with that. But here he goes Hitmontop, and +2 Shadow Ball actually did not do as much as I wanted. It's probably Assault Vest Hitmontop, looking at that damage, but now this thing is pretty much gone as well. One of his forms of hazard removal. So I can just bring out this, throw off the extra sensory. It was pretty much just used to hit this if it was at higher amount of health. But this thing is not in range of Aura Sphere yet, so I figured I can expend some health onto my Kyurem instead of letting Raikou take that unnecessary damage, which could be useful later against the Tornadus. And Icicle Crash or Earthquake are not going to be 2-hit KOing me since he is burned, so that's looking good. He goes for the Icicle Crash, it's not going to do a lot. He's taking more damage and only putting himself even further into range of the Aura Sphere. And this is what I was talking about. Ice Beam would have 2-hit KO'd with that burn. He has leftovers, so that's why it didn't 2-hit KO, but now I have to throw off 3 hits, and he's going to get the chance to defog, but he opts to throw off the Brave Bird instead. I guess it's understandable since Garchomp is really the only thing that it takes damage from, and it's pretty much KO'd by everything on my team. Except for Raiku's Assault Vest Hidden Power of Ice does actually not OHKO Garchomp from 100%, so he might have been able to defog there, but Mamoswine is already burned, so it's not going to take any damage. I'm going to switch out into my Flygon here, as I believe he sets up a Tailwind. Yeah, so he sets up a Tailwind, which is kind of weird but cool at the same time. I could have Ice Beam there, but I don't want to risk him being Scarf and putting myself into range of the Mamoswine's Ice Shard by any chance. If he was like Air Slash or Super Power, that could have taken me out as well, so he's just going to throw off the Air Slash here. Fortunately does not flinch me, which I'm surprised about because I always get flinched. He's going to Air Slash twice, knock me out, but Tailwind only has 1 turn left, and I do have Assault Vest Raikou to eat this hit. So here I'm just going to throw off the Hidden Power Ice, it hits everything, and now Mamoswine is in range of that Aura Sphere I was talking about. So I'm going to throw that off, it does the damage that I need it to, and at this point, this is where the plays come in. So what I need to do here is get 2 plays correct. If I T-Bolt on his Tailwind right here, Garchomp comes in, clicks Outrage twice and wins, so I cannot do that. But at the same time, if I switch out into Kyurem on his Air Slash, or Super Power, or Focus Blast, whatever he has, I will also lose the game because Raiku's Hidden Power Ice does not knock out Garchomp unless it crits. So I opt, he's probably going to make the Tailwind here since he just thinks I'm going to knock him out and then he can win, but I make the switch into Kyurem predicting the Tailwind as he does go for that, and this is where the second play comes in. I can double back into Raikou here to stall out the turns of Tailwind, as he goes for Air Slash or Focus Blast or something, but if he doubles out into Garchomp on my double out into Raikou, I lose the game as well because he clicks Outrage twice and he still has those 2 turns of Tailwind. Scarf, Kyurem does not outspeed Garchomp under the Tailwind, so I have to get this play right, and what my mentality is, he might think that I'm actually just going to stay in and go off of the double, because even if he doesn't double, I would still have the chance to crit the Garchomp, so that's my mentality. But so I'm actually going to make the opposite play and switch out here as he does end up throwing off the Air Slash. And at this point, Garchomp does not have enough turns of Tailwind to take the game. I'm going to go for the Hidden Power Ice here, knock him out. He only has 1 turn of Tailwind left, which will be used to knock out my Raikou right now. And now Kyurem Black can just come in and click Ice Beam and take the game for us. So really close match. We are now 2-2 at +1. So not the ideal record. I do feel like I have potential to have like a better record, possibly even 4-0, but it's Pokemon, it's not always the record that you want. But really nice game against the Chicago Granbulls right there. Game definitely down to the wire. If he got either of those plays correct, I definitely lost the game no matter what. Thank you guys so much for watching. We finally have an even record again, and I will see you guys next week in the UPC. We have our WPL final match before the playoffs game going up tomorrow, so definitely stick around for that. Subscribe if you want to follow the Aggrons in the UPC, and I will see you guys in the next battle. Bye.